in health and well-being, and I suppose that's what led me to study pharmacy in the first place, because I was really interested in how can I help people get better and how can I also help myself be as healthy as I can. So I spent 5 years studying pharmacy, and then I went out and started working as a community pharmacist. And I spent over 10 years working in the world of community pharmacy. So you're really at the front line of meeting people every day, coming in with their prescription pads, and I was literally in the back dishing out the drugs and handing out the medicine. And I suppose I wasn't long into working in this world where I realised that I was actually felt like I was more working in a sick care system as opposed to a healthcare system. And a system whereby we kind of tend to treat the symptom as opposed to really look a little bit deeper and ask, well, what is the root cause, and why am I experiencing these symptoms, and why am I not feeling healthy, or why have I this disease? And when you look at the word disease, it's a lack of ease. And that can be a lack of ease in the mind, a lack of ease in the body, a lack of ease just in my lifestyle. And I suppose while I was witnessing this, I was really noticing these trends that were rising, and people would come in with their prescription and then they'd leave. And they'd leave with the box of magic pills and come back in a month later and the same thing. But nothing actually was changing in their lifestyles from month to month. And Einstein's expression, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different outcome. And I believe that if nothing ever changes, well, then nothing will ever change. And it's not to say I'm anti-medicine at all. Of course we do need them, and there's a time and a place. But it's just knowing how long, why I'm needing them, and for what length of time, and how am I taking them. And I suppose for me, this whole area of a pill for every ill and treating the symptom really sparked off alarm bells in myself. And it was almost like, take for example, a fire would go off here, and the fire brigade would come and it would put out the fire. But what happens is it's kind of the same in our lives and in our bodies. A fire goes off somewhere in the form of a lack of ease or some inflammation, and it literally will send off fire alarms in the form of signs and symptoms. Headaches, skin rashes, digestive issues, all of these are ways the body's trying to communicate and talk to us and tell us that something is not right. Yet what we tend to do is just take a tablet or do something, and what we're doing is kind of turning off the fire alarms but not actually asking what's causing the fire. And with that, I just started to expand and learn and go off and do loads more different courses on my own on integrative nutrition, looking at yoga, meditation, mindfulness, now studying yoga psychology, and just trying to bridge it all together and look at lifestyle as medicine. Because I was never trained in that. And my fundamental belief now is, how we eat, how we drink, how we think, how we move, how we breathe, how we believe, and how we perceive all have a massive impact on this body and on our lives and on our health and on our happiness. So that's kind of where I've come to, and I've had my own journeys and struggles similar to Roz with emotional eating and overeating and body image and all of that, and I've had to do my own work and have done my own psychotherapy and really done a deep dive into what real wellness is. And for me, it's looking at the mind, it's looking at the body, and it's also looking at the soul.
Okay.